在加州有许多雇员呢因公受伤，但是有不少的雇员和雇主呢对加州的劳工赔偿制度呢或有关的具体法规条款呢不是很了解，或者是一知半解。今天我们就为您请来了王明武律师事务所的艾丁律师呢，和我们谈谈劳工赔偿法。Welcome, Attorney Aidin.
Thank you.
What kind of work-related injuries can people submit a claim to get workers' compensation?
Any kind of injury that occurs on the job or in the course of your employment can result in a workers' compensation claim. This includes a box falling on you, slipping or falling at work, or even long-term injuries that build up over time, like carpal tunnel or back problems, neck problems from sitting in front of a computer. They can actually also include psychological or mental damage that might occur in one moment at work or over a long period of time.
Now, some of the symptoms, they don't show up right away. Maybe it may show up after you retire. So how soon do you have to file a claim to claim a work-related injury before you kind of permanently lose the right?
The limit on filing a workers' compensation claim is 1 year after the date of the injury. Now, as you mentioned, some injuries don't appear immediately. And so for those types of injuries, you have 1 year from the date that you discovered that you were injured or that your injury occurred on the job to then file a workers' compensation claim.
What happens if you miss the deadlines?
If you miss a deadline, it does complicate your situation. You should definitely speak to an attorney and assess the situation and have an attorney determine whether or not there is a reasonable reason to seek to have that deadline extended or to find a reason, an exception to the 1 year limit.
So if I suffer some sort of injury, do I have to see a designated doctor by the workers' comp administrator, or can I see my primary care physician?
If you're injured on the job, you should immediately seek treatment. If that requires emergency treatment, your personal doctor or the employee's doctor, the important thing is that you get treatment right away. If you have pre-designated your personal doctor with your employer, then that personal doctor will be the person who treats you through your workers' compensation claim. If you haven't, you will need to see a workers' compensation doctor.
Right. So what kind of benefits? I know it's very kind of confusing. There are different type of disability and impairment benefits. What four different types of benefits are there?
There's two big categories. One is temporary disability and the other is permanent disability. Temporary disability are the benefits you receive while you're still treating for your injury. And you can receive two kinds of temporary disability. It can be temporary total disability, and that means that you are still treating and you're totally unable to continue working. And you can receive temporary partial disability, and that means you're still treating, you have an injury, but you can still do other types of work at your job with certain modifications and adjustments. On the permanent disability side, this is once you've completed treatment and you're now stable, but you have a permanent disability to your body that's long-lasting. Now that disability can be a partial permanent disability, which means only one part of your body is injured, but you can still do other work, or it can be a complete disability, a total disability that's permanent, which means you cannot return to work.
What if the insurance just denied my claim?
Oftentimes, an employer's insurance, workers' compensation insurance, will deny a person's claim. In that case, you have the right to challenge that denial, and in those cases, you may see a doctor who's agreed to by both sides that will assess your injury and determine whether or not it was a work-related injury and whether or not it's compensable.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
本资讯由王明武律师事务所赞助提供。